presented by Franklin Motor Company. Hello folks, welcome to the Sports Source Highlight Show for September 1st, 2014. A ton of highlights to get to today, so we're going to go ahead and get started with Spring Hill. They were at Mount Pleasant on Thursday, and if you missed this game, shame on you. This was a thriller until the very end. Spring Hill scored on their opening drive, but on the ensuing kickoff, it was a theme, not just in this game, but all week from around the area. Right down the sideline, just the kick it or beat, and not even an effort. Touchdown, Mount Pleasant. They tie the game. Later on, same quarter. High snap, and then the punt is blocked. Recovered by Mount Pleasant, and into the end zone for the score. It's 13-7. Mount Pleasant on top. And here's Tylen Oden, somehow getting away from the tackler and scoring. Seriously, how did he do that? What a play by Oden. He was in our top 5 plays last week. That's a nominee right there. So is this. Again, where's the tackling in this game? Another return for a touchdown. It's now 19-14 Tigers. The bench going crazy, but we're going to take another look because how on earth was he able to get around? Was that 1, 2, 3 Spring Hill players getting ready to converge on the tackle? Another 2 around him. That's 5 guys, and somehow able to keep his balance. And well, somebody clock him on this. It's pretty impressive. 19-14 again. It's Oden on the keeper. Reaching for the end zone, he scores. It's 22-19 Spring Hill High School. And it's Oden again on the keeper, trusting his speed, and why not? Another touchdown. It's 29-19 Spring Hill. Round to the outside, putting on the brakes, making the defender go by him. Into the end zone, 34 yards. Spring Hill wins it, 36-32. Brentwood traveling to Blackman. A tough schedule, like we said, for Brentwood. We knew this game would not be easy for the Bruins. It was not. Blackman winning it 42-21. The Blaze improved to 2-0 on the season. The Bruins fall to 0-2. Now Ravenwood at Clarksville. Thought this game would be pretty close. We know what Van Jefferson can do. We know Cole Brown's going to be good. How about the Rowlands? Starting off with Chris Rowland, a 31-yard touchdown. He had 107 yards on the day and 2 touchdowns. And then Chris showing he can also return punts. Taking this one all the way back where it came from. Had one man to beat for the touchdown. Pretty much negating all of that punt. Taking it all the way back to the line of scrimmage. And here's Chris again. He'll take it 10 yards. It's now 20-7 Ravenwood. He's not going to back down from anybody, I'm sure. Still 20-7, still third quarter, and it's Seth's turn. Up the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown Raptors, 27-7. They go on to win this one by a final score of 41-7. We said we expected it to be close, but the Raptors showing us they're for real. Once again. Independence traveling to Marshall County. This was another good game. Along with a stout running attack, Indy's quarterback threw a bunch of touchdowns. See what it did there. Start off with Dom Childress with a run 1 yard short of a touchdown. He had a fantastic game. The Navy commit had the game-winning touchdown. We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, Nathan Johnson with the catch, breaking several tackles, bouncing off a defender and taking it to the house for the score. Touchdown, Eagles. Look at it again. spinning away. And how about this block? Yep, going for the legs. That was the last defender in the way of Johnson before he finished off this reception for a score. And another pass to Nathan Johnson from Andrew Bunch. This was a much tighter game than these highlights are displaying. How about Childress again? This is a long run. He's got one man to beat, trying to cut it up and eventually knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. An impressive run for Dom Childress. His 5-yard scamper would win it for Indy. A final score of 31-25. You'll see Bunch with another touchdown pass here. Independents are now 2-0 on the season. Centennial traveling to Overton. This was my TV 30's game of the week. It was a thriller. Here's Emmanuel Hall. Hauling in his first touchdown of the game, 1 of 2. That pass from Connor Reedfield and the defense stepping up for the Cougars. Talked about it last week, going to talk about it again. This District 11, going to be so tough. It's going to be fun to see who's going to come out on top. Reedfield again. Going to find Hall. This time for 25 yards as Emmanuel gets behind the defense. It was actually Deion Sanders' touchdown late in the fourth quarter that won it for him, 28-21. As we go to Paige High School. Saw some of these highlights on Friday night. See some of them again here today. Ball pops loose. The Spartans fall on it. They get it. This is the opening kickoff, by the way. Summit looking for their first win of the season. And their district wins are going to be hard to come by, taking every chance they get. And how about this? Tommy Smith on the touchdown. We're going to see that play again later. You'll see how incredible of a play that was if you didn't catch it in real time. And after that, it was pretty much all Paige Patriots. The defense stopping Summit there on third down, then getting the ball back. Right now the score is 7-6. And on the keeper, Michael Roberts. On the handoff, Michael Roberts taking it into the end zone for the touchdown. And Paige, it was close throughout, but Paige finally pulled away. They win at 33-7. Franklin Motor Company has quite the variety when it comes to choosing a vehicle. Here's a 2012 Ford Edge. This white SUV has a 6-cylinder engine with 25 miles to the gallon on the highway. Just over 54,000 miles on it. This is just one of Franklin Motor Company's list of available vehicles, so check them out online at franklinmotorstn.com. They've been in Nashville for over 20 years and have sold over 30,000 vehicles. Give them a call today, 615-865-7350. Franklin Motor Company, your ride is here. All right, more highlights. Fairview traveling to Camden Central. A tough battle. Hunter Zimmerman took a lot of them. How about this? He had a heck of a game hooking up with Drayvon Moore here. That's a big-time touchdown, 54 yards. That made it 21-12. Camden Central looking to get some of those points back. And from the 50, swinging it out to the right side, getting a block, breaking some tackles, and 50 yards for the touchdown. That made it 28-12. But the Yellow Jackets not backing down. A little play action, rollout, Zimmerman finding Moore again. That made it 28-20. That's with 12 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. A pick six from Camden would end the game. Well, basically put the game out of reach at 35-20. Fairview falls. We'll try to bounce back next week at Stewart County. Innsworth at home versus Brainerd. And here's Rico McGraw. Again, Crimson Tide fans, this is what you had to look forward to, as if Alabama wasn't good enough already. Rico McGraw taking the punt into the end zone rather easily. Another SEC commit, Donovan Sheffield, breaking some tackles down the right sideline. He's gone for another touchdown. You had a feeling this game could get out of hand. It did. But still, some good highlights from the superstars at Innsworth. PJ Settles, the play fake, stepping up, throwing deep down the middle. Rico McGraw is there. Just looks back. Was there a defender on me? I couldn't tell. Another touchdown for McGraw. And these guys, they can also play defense, by the way. Here's Donovan Sheffield with the pick. He'll take it 99 yards after swerving in and out of traffic into the end zone for the touchdown. These guys are just as effective getting into the end zone on offense as they are on defense, apparently. That's going to be a tough team to beat. Good Pasture at Franklin Road Academy. We had some of these highlights for you on Friday. As you see, Good Pasture getting on the board first. They lead it 7-0. But after that, Franklin Road Academy battling back. Woody Weaker up the middle. Bounce and awesome tackler. Spin move, touchdown, Panthers. We're tied at 7. Suddenly, momentum swinging to the Panthers. And then Will Hoyt from Spence Jones. It's 14-7, and the Panthers are fired up. And look at what it means to these guys. They know how big it would be to get to even at 1-1 on the season here in week 1. And how about the sophomore, Adrian Roper, taking it to the 2-yard line. Knocked out of bounds just before going into the end zone. After that, though, it would be Alex Chase finishing off the drive. 21-7. FRA takes the lead, and that's what they would win it by. They're now 1-1 in 2014. First, we'll see Roberson Berry. That is a huge loss. Taking them down way back in the backfield is Berry. FRA wins it 21-7 over Good Pasture. All right, now to some girls soccer. FRA Panthers, again, this time they're at Brentwood Academy. And getting on the board first are the Panthers. Courtney Manning with the goal. This Brentwood Academy team is going to be tough to beat. FRA leading 1-0. It didn't last too long. That was in the 4th minute. Here comes the captain, Macy McKay. She's going to do a lot of this for Brentwood this year. Putting the ball in the back of the net. We're tied at 1. We're still early in the first half, and there are plenty more goals to come from this game. Jamie Condrell, how about that? That is an impressive shot. Panthers lead again 2-1. Not making it easy for Brentwood Academy, and either is the weather as it started pouring down raining on Thursday. But it again is McKay equalizing in the 20th minute as it started to pour in Brentwood. We're tied at 2. We go to the second half. Things sort of dried up now, and that works out great for the Eagles. McKay rounding the keeper again. A hat trick for McKay. They lead it 3-2. And they would go on to win it 4-2 over FRA. Franklin taking on Siegel. How about this? That's a top 5 play nominee. Callie McKinney up and over the wall. That's definitely a top 5 play nominee. That's just too impressive. But it wouldn't be enough. Franklin took the lead right there, 1-0. But then as this ball bounces around in the box, Siegel with a good opportunity. And it's Emma Adcock equalizing for the Stars. The game would end in a 2-2 draw in Murfreesboro. Now speaking of Murfreesboro, Middle Tennessee State hosting Savannah State on Saturday in one of the worst rainstorms I've ever been to at a sporting event. Even with that, Grammer threw for 250 yards and 1 touchdown as the Raiders amassed 519 total yards. You see Jeremiah Bryson, the sophomore, scoring there and giving us a Tebow celebration. The Raiders winning this one easily by a final score of 61-7. You can see the full highlights on our site. Now with some of these OVC teams taking on some NAIA schools, try to guess the team's nickname, the Cavs, the Knights, or the Panthers. Take a pick. You can see it at the end of these clips. Tennessee Tech did not get off to a very hot start, but even with a slow start, they still win it pretty easily. Jared Davis finds Darian Stone for the touchdown, and then Cody Matthews, 35 yards from Davis. The Golden Eagles win it 33-0, despite the slow start, as we mentioned earlier, and it's the Knights. So if you guess Knights, that's Kentucky Christian. Union, are they the Bulldogs, the Infantry, or the Bobcats? They're taking on the Racers in week 1. And Murray State scored 80, I believe it was 83 points in their opener last season against Campbellsville. Something similar here, and pretty similar with the punt and return. They had a guy, Walter Powell, who returned punts for them the last few years. They don't miss them in this game. They returned 2 punts. That's Janikowski Davis. Or excuse me, Sean Samuels Connell, 68 yards. Excuse me. Now Janowski Davis, 62-yard punt return. Davis had 3 touchdowns in the game. CJ Bennett, the new Racer quarterback, had threw for 5 touchdowns and 167 yards as they win it 73-26. In case you didn't get it, it was the Bulldogs. Edward Waters, Lions, Tigers, or Bears? Go ahead, take your pick. You got a few seconds to figure it out. And this, of course, it was Saturday, so just pouring down rain in Middle Tennessee. But Jamar Sears from Michael German into the end zone, 6-0. They went for 2, didn't get it. So they lead 6-0. And then Deontay Saunders. It was a week for special teams. No question. Saunders taking the punt, 45 yards, finding an alley, then taking it to the outside, into the end zone for the touchdown. They were up 16-0 at that point. It would only get better for the Tigers. Tom Smith, 23-0 on the 11-yard scamper. They win it 58-6 over the Tigers. How about that? Missouri Baptist, the Spartans, the Eagles, or the Golden Bears. Taking on SEMO in week 1. It really wouldn't matter what their nickname is. They gave up a school record number of points, or SEMO scored a school record 77 points in this one. It was non-stop for the Redhawks. Southeast Missouri State hoping to have a good year. Up 42-0 here. Fumble in the end zone recovered by SEMO, 49-0. Not a whole lot of challenges for the OVC teams hosting, and here the final score. They scored with 8 minutes and 23 seconds left. I have to check. That might have been a running clock. SEMO wins it 77-0. And now the top 5, the best plays from around Williamson County. Start off with number 5. It's really just special teams everywhere, but Father Ryan here with a big play. It was our game of the week. And it was a huge touchdown. The Irish win it by 8. A huge return, obviously helped. Now, how about this, number 4? Johnson with the catch, the spin, and then the finish for the Eagles, who win a tight win at Marshall County. Number 3, things Tim Howard could say, well, maybe. I mean, that's almost upper 90. That's about as perfect as you can get. Now here's J.R. Osborne. If you remember, he was our number 1 play for kicking a 53-yard field goal last week, and this would have been number 1 had it been ruled a touchdown. And maybe he deserved it. Check it out again. It seems his knee is going to roll over the defender, and then he goes into the end zone, so his knee never technically hit the ground. I don't know. The referee might have had a better angle. Looked like Osborne scored a touchdown there, an incredible one. Now at number 1, Sneaky Spartans. We told you that you would be seeing this play again, and if you didn't catch it this time, we'll slow it down for you. Brian Coleman with tricks up his sleeve. That was a huge touchdown. It was the first drive of the game for Summit. Now keep your eye on number 81, Tommy Smith. The handoff goes to the running back, who then hands it to Smith behind the line of scrimmage, and he acts as a fullback, finding his way into the end zone. Well drawn up by Brian Coleman and company. Nicely executed by the Spartans. Been in a losing effort. They'll win some games. There's reasons to be hopeful behind this coaching staff. That'll do it for this week's edition of the Sports Source Highlights Show. See you on Thursday for the preview show.